I'm not proud of this, but I got myself into some pretty hardcore financial trouble several years back. I'm not going to give you all the bog standard bullshit excuses. I was young and stupid. I racked up debts I shouldn't have, buying stuff I don't need. Then, by pure dumb luck, I hadn't prepared, for I found myself without a job. I was out of work for almost 3 months, which ate through what little savings I had. And the job I finally got paid much less than my previous one, barely enough to cover rent in a shoebox-sized studio apartment and gas for my junker car. A long story short, I defaulted on a bunch of debt, my credit score tanked, and I barely stayed out of bankruptcy. The next few years were tight to say the least, but I stuck through it. Eventually, the job gave me a small raise, and I was able to start working my way out of the hole. After a year or two, I was almost back to normal. I had either paid off, or at least made payment plan arrangements with all of my creditors. My credit score had inched back up to only mostly horrible instead of completely horrible. Things weren't great. Hell, they weren't even good, but they were at least okay again. One day, would have been late November, early December if I remember correctly, my aging laptop finally gave up the ghost. Luckily, by this point, having to buy a cheap computer was simply a major annoyance, and not the financial disaster it would have been not too long ago. But I still didn't have a lot of money to throw at it. I went online on my phone and checked the usual places for a cheap Chromebook or refurbished budget laptop. My needs were simple, just something to send emails and watch YouTube and do online banking on. But, like most people, I am picky about a few things, and I was having trouble finding a laptop that checked all of my boxes in my price range. After an afternoon of Googling, I found several reviews for an old Lenovo model, a generation or two old that seemed like it would work, and that was going for cheap. But it sold out on all the usual places, outside of a couple sketchy eBay listings. I googled the model number for the laptop, and after scrolling through the first few sites that either smelled of scams, or were just advertising front ends back to sites I had already checked, I found a respectable looking site, selling the model for a reasonable price. The shipping was free, and the site, although I had never heard of it, looked professional and had the standard Better Business Bureau and Visa verified approvals. I mentally shrugged and figured, what the heck. I created myself an account for the website and added the laptop to my cart. Here's when the first weird thing happened. Although at the time it was so minor I didn't really register it. The website did that thing where it recommended me some products and asked if I wanted to add them to my cart. What was weird, looking back, was the website specifically said, based on your previous purchases, we think you might like these items. Despite the fact that I had never purchased anything from them. The weirder thing was that the recommended items were a crowbar and a ski mask. It was almost comical, a burglary starter kit. I half chuckled, half groaned. Some twee business startup's idea of a joke, I figured. I clicked no thank you, just take me to my cart. This took me to another screen, again suggesting the crowbar and ski mask. Okay, I thought. The joke wasn't that funny the first time. I clicked no again. This time was taken to a normal checkout screen. I entered my shipping and payment info, completed my purchase, and closed out the website. 3 days later, I received the laptop and was delighted that it was exactly what I ordered. About a week after that, I got an email from the website's customer service, a standard auto-generated message with the request that I leave a review for the product I purchased. Fair enough, I thought. I made a mental note, if I had time that evening, to type out a quick review. With that, I went to work, the website totally forgotten. That was until I got back home and checked my email. A new email was in my inbox. It was from the website. "Thank you for your review," read the subject line. That was odd, I thought. I opened the email and sure enough, embedded in it was a review for the laptop with my account name. I read the review and that's when everything really started to move from confusing to creepy. I didn't remember writing the review, but it looked like my writing. It read like the kind of thing I would write. The tone, the vocabulary. It just, well, felt like something I would write. It even mentioned the features I was picky about that caused me to pick this laptop. I sat down and read the review over and over. Had I written it? Had I had some sort of episode? Had I blacked out? Sleep reviewing sounded so absurd, but it made more sense than someone hacking my account and perfectly replicating my writing style, just to leave a review on a budget out-of-production laptop. Before I left for work, I noticed something else. On my review page on the website was a section called "Please consider reviewing your other purchases as well." And there was listed the crowbar and ski mask. When I got home from work that evening, I sat down at my desk and decided to drop a quick line to the site's customer service department. Surely, I had convinced myself during the day this was all just some kind of weird mix-up. Someone else's review wound up under my account. I mean, things like that can happen. I logged into the website and opened my account page, looking for a Contact Us link or something. It took me a minute to notice it. The review was still there, but it was different. There was a picture attached to it now. It showed the laptop on my desk. The desk I was sitting at now. The exact desk. There was no question. There, in the picture, on the desk surface, just next to the laptop, was the exact same black streak I had accidentally made with a Sharpie months ago. Worst of all, on the screen of the laptop in the review picture was the website's review submission page, open to the written but not yet submitted review that I never wrote. I realized I was breathing fast and looking around my apartment. I took several deep breaths, forcing myself to calm down. The review I could have talked myself into thinking was innocent, but this, not this. I pulled out my phone. For some reason, I didn't want to use the laptop. I found the customer service page for the website and wrote out a half-angry, half-rambling email. I didn't directly accuse them of anything. It sounded too crazy every time I tried to describe exactly what happened, but I told them there was suspicious activity on my account. It looked like someone else was leaving reviews on my account somehow, and I'd asked them to look into it. Within minutes, I got a generic automatic response with a boilerplate, "We have received your request and are looking into it. A representative will contact you soon, blah blah blah" message. I double-checked the doors and windows, pulled down all the blinds, and went to bed. Sleep did not come easy, but finally it did come. The next morning, I forced myself to have a cup of coffee and a bowl of oatmeal before checking my email. No response from customer service account, but my stomach sank when I saw 2 more emails in my inbox with the subject lines, "Thank you for your reviews." I didn't even open the emails. I went straight to the website and opened my account page. Now, I had 3 reviews under my account. The laptop, and now, the crowbar and ski mask. Great for prying open doors and windows. 5 stars. Someone had written for the crowbar under my account. Keeps your identity secret. Must have for prowlers and burglars. Read the review under the ski mask. Anger joined the fear and confusion. Not only was someone somehow faking reviews and somehow taking product review pictures inside my apartment, They were basically all but bragging about committing crimes while pretending to be me. I spent several minutes trying to find a cancel account option for the website, with no luck. I sent another email to the customer service account, demanding someone contact me as quickly as possible. Work went slow that day. I couldn't concentrate. I fought the temptation to pull out my phone and check my personal email or the website. When I got home, I went right to my computer. Still no response from the customer service, but I didn't care about that at that moment. There was now a picture added to the review for both the crowbar and the ski mask. The crowbar review now included a fuzzy, out-of-focus picture of the crowbar, with the bent end wedged under the bottom of a window, ready to force it open. Through the window, even blurrier but still recognizable, was a family sitting at dinner. That was bad. The picture that had been added to the ski mask review was worse. Way worse. It was a selfie. Someone holding a crowbar up to a window, wearing a ski mask. It was me. I mean, I know how that sounds. They were wearing a ski mask, but it was me. The eyes, the mouth, the shape of the head and neck. I even recognized the shirt. But I had never done that. I didn't even own a ski mask or crowbar, regardless of what the website said. I hadn't been anywhere but work and my apartment. I hadn't been skulking around in any bushes outside of homes, crowbar in hand, wearing a ski mask. I was scared. I was furious. I was confused. I emailed the customer service again, no longer really expecting an answer, but having to do something. I demanded they cancel my account, delete my info, and no longer do business with me. That night, I didn't sleep at all. I sat in bed refreshing my email and my account page on the website over and over. At around 4 in the morning, another product suddenly showed up under my "Please consider purchasing again" section. It was a knife. A hunting knife. I felt sick. I didn't even go to work that day. I called in and mumbled some excuse about not feeling well, then went right back to refreshing the website. At about 10 in the morning, my review of the knife appeared. Cuts flesh like no other. Great knife. My account proclaimed. By 4 in the afternoon, a picture of the knife stuck into the side of a tree in a deeply wooded area had been added onto the review. In the background of the picture, several yards away, blurry enough to not be fully recognizable, was something that I told myself was certainly, absolutely, without a doubt, a pile of rags. I wasn't fooling myself. I turned my apartment inside out, looking for the crowbar or the ski mask or the knife. I know it sounds crazy, but if I find one, I find them all. If I could convince myself that I was having episodes, hell, if I tell myself I was just going crazy, that would have been better. But I didn't find any of them. I emailed the website again. I didn't know what else to do. I threatened them, told them I'd sue them for everything they were worth. It felt hollow, even as I sent it. Not 5 minutes after I sent the email, I got the automated response. Yet another product popped up in my recently purchased section on the website. I went numb. There were 2 items in my last order. A 100-count bottle of sleeping pills, and the book, The Complete Guide to Suicide Prevention. More than the other items, this felt like a threat. Suddenly in my head, a frighteningly real image popped in, of the inevitable review picture, of my dead body, next to an open, empty bottle of sleeping pills. I gave up. I wish I could tell you more. I just never went back to the website. I never got another order from them. I set my email to automatically delete any email from the customer service or order tracking emails. I called my bank and told them I lost the debit card I used for the order and requested a new number. I don't know if more reviews were ever posted under my account or if any items were suggested after all that. I never tried to intentionally find the site again, but I never saw an ad or a sales flyer or a mention of it after that. I still have the laptop. It's what I'm typing this out on. No other website ever did anything weird on it. But I don't spend time on the computer like I used to. I do what I need to do and get off. I especially don't do much online shopping anymore. I like paying with cash and doing it in person. I don't even watch Netflix anymore. I don't want to be asked to review anything. Because I'm afraid of what will happen if I do. Or if I don't. Hello, sinister listeners. If you've enjoyed this story, then you'll find all the author's information in the description below. For more content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to succumb to the sinister.